Hi there, that's right. Great and glorious, you'll be famous one day. Nick Dutch here yet again. And this is what we call the Tarot Show. And I provide tarot readings not only for a living, but I also provide a few of them free of charge here over YouTube, as well as over my MySpace account. So you can get a chance to have a feeling for what a reading is about, the kind of things that we can cover, and we can just look into providing some answers using the wonderful power and ability of a tarot reading. Now, this is a free service, of course, going out over YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, then by all means do so, and submit some reading requests. I'd also say that people often get a bit of extra benefit through watching other people's readings and trying to get a bit of extra advice and an extra direction as a result of seeing other readings in action. So subscribe to the channel and actually rate it once you've viewed the whole thing, and tell us what you think of it, and I look forward to covering any questions that you want to ask me and including that in the show. Okay, so here we go. Okay, that's right, great and glorious, seem to be famous one day. Nick Dutch here yet again, and this is the first tarot reading of today. We got a guy called James, and he's curious about relocating. He's moved to an area about 5 years ago, and it turned out that, you know, there was basically some issues with the place. He wants to know whether he should relocate and whether basically his life is going to get better on the basis that he does relocate. Let's just see what comes through. Bear with me, 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. The cards are already shuffled, so what I'm doing here is just a bit of random cutting just to make sure we can increase the randomness here. Let's start with the first question. Should you relocate? Well, all these signs here are pointing out 2 separate things. Initially we got a sense of stress, a sense of futility associated with where you are at the moment, and yeah, there is a sense of strife around that too, but the meanings of the cards is not just in the way that they are actually labelled, so I'm sure you can see the words there, futility and strife there, but it's also a question of the other symbols which are present within the cards, as well as any thoughts and feelings which are coming through to me. And what I've got here is a sense of a feeling of hope coming out of futility, as is self-evident by the symbology, by the colours, and by the feelings that I'm getting. So essentially, if you carry on where you are now, basically I don't think it's going to get all that much better for you. It is wise to relocate. Now let's expand the reading further and see what's going to happen on the basis that you do actually relocate. Again, this is looking good. Now, you mentioned in your message to me that the area that you're in is populated by basically bad quality people, gangs and the like. Now that's also self-evident in the signs we've got here, the Hangman reverse. If the Hangman was upright, it would basically be saying that things aren't going to improve for you, but as we've got the signs reverse, I've got a feeling of any sense of treachery and bad emotions which are surrounding you at the moment being overturned. And the fact it's been followed by a very singular message, right, a very singular focus message in an ace card, is also a very good good message here, as far as moving on will actually be a good thing for you. The general trends that I'm getting is in fact really rather positive. Expanding the reading any further does actually suggest that settling down will be a great thing. Once you have actually relocated, there may be a slight sense of loneliness and isolation, but because you've had some cold signs earlier on, that definitely won't be any worse than what you're going through at the moment, and it will be a lot better because it's accompanied by the Wish card. Now, I don't know if you've got a background in tarot, but when the Wish card turns up, it's called the Star. It's one of the major arcana cards. It often means that what you wish to manifest in your life is going to come through with reference to this one particular question. It doesn't always mean that. There's a myriad, there's 1,000 meanings for every single card, and it depends upon what's coming through to me and what's in the reading and what the question is as to what the eventual outcome would be. Essentially, I would plan very heavily. These signs have got other meanings too, relating to sometimes academic achievements, and in this particular case I feel that refers to studying and trying to find out more so that you can then make the right decision and the right quality of decision with the passage of time. So do your planning, plan with care, think carefully, don't let your current environment fluster you. There is a sense of freedom and removing any of the negativity and moving to a very focused, very enjoyable future in which this sense of isolation that you've probably had over here in the here and now part of the reading will be overturned, and you'll start to get basically what you're after. So the signs are actually very good. Relocation is a good move for you. I would recommend it, but obviously plan with great care, okay? Good fortune. Okay, now we got the next reading of today coming up. We've got a guy who is a junior in high school. Now I will point out that if I was doing a, I couldn't do a commercial reading for you if you were under the age of 18. As this is a free reading, All I have to do is to remind you that this is regarded as an entertainment service, but possibly one you can get some therapeutic benefit from. Now, this one particular inquirer has pointed out that he's a junior in high school and most of his friends are seniors, and doesn't want to look forward to a lonely year coming up. But let's just have a quick look. I mean, obviously I don't want you to have any distressing time either. I just want this to work out to your benefit and to the benefit of other people around you. But let's just see what the reading says, because I have no idea what signs and what thoughts and feelings are going to turn up here. Alright, as far as is your next year in your studies going to be lonely and isolated, bottom line is no. We do have some signs related to stress. I feel that one thing you've got to be careful of is to make sure that the fear of isolation and the fear of loneliness doesn't get to you. Otherwise the emotions you can experience can be a bit too much, and that could distract you from what you've essentially got to do within your studies and basically moving forward with your life. Now, the forces surrounding you in the here and now, basically moving on into the future, you know, we got signs of abundance, we got signs of happiness, and we got signs of extra gain. So you are in the right place no matter what. More friends will be found. Remember that. Sometimes the harder that you work at trying to make friends, either the fewer friends or the worst quality friends you end up making. So you may just have to be yourself and work hard, and then you'll be magnetically attracted to the right quality of people. I don't see that you've got too much to worry about as far as acquisition of people. But remember, don't try too hard to make friends, okay? Alright, let's just expand the reading a little further. Now, you may feel that these signs are gloomy. I feel this sign here, which is sometimes labeled failure, is not talking about a sense of social failure. I feel that's essentially the fear of failure and the irritation that will come when essentially your friends who are seniors in high school will start to leave and to move on. But we've still got a sense of maintaining contact. This card refers to communication and maintaining an even feeling of contact. So yeah, get their phone number, email address, myspace, whatever, and keep in touch electronically. These people are still going to be your friends, but essentially you've still got to expand the net and see how far you can advance your friendship acquisition with the passage of time. I'm not too worried for you at all, basically. These people are still going to be your friends. Alright? Bye for now. That's right, Great and Glorious, soon to be famous one day, Nick Dutch. Back on the camera yet again. Do hope you enjoyed the readings today and you got some insight. Now, some people regard tarot as being a problem-solving tool. I think that's a bit of a misnomer. I think that's the wrong name for the variety of service. I would say this is an inspiration and gaining service, because from the reading itself you can have a look at the issues that are in your life. Maybe you can take the advice from the reader, but you don't have to. This is another point of view, so maybe you can go back home after the reading, take a pen and paper, write down a few notes on what came up in the reading, think about any other advice you may have received, think carefully about the phenomenon happening around you, and then make a decision based upon that, and just use the reading as an extra form of insight to basically guide your life further forward. Alright? Now, you've seen some of the ways that we can tackle some life issues and some life problems. Sometimes they're serious issues, sometimes they're a little more trivial, but in every possible way they are important, because they are of importance to the inquirer. And I think that's something which is important for me to remember as a reader, and us to provide what I feel is the best service that I can to assist in this manner within the remit of a tarot reading. Okay? Now, if you need me again, you know where I am. Don't forget to subscribe, rate the video, and basically email me with any of your reading requests, and I will be more than happy to help out and include that in the next free tarot reading show. Okay? Good fortune. God bless. Look after yourself.